Hey students, today we are going to discuss about another concept called destructor. So we discussed constructor in our previous video. So now we are going to discuss destructor. So it is a concept. We create objects by constructor. When we create objects from a class, at that time constructors are called. It is the total concept of constructor is discussed in the previous video. And now the destructor will be called when there will be no necessity of that object, and that compiler automatically will call the destructor to deallocate the memory which are given to the objects. So it will destroy the objects. The name simply suggests that it will destroy the objects when those objects are not in use. So you can see destructor is a special type of member function of a class, but again it will, the name of the destructor will be same as the class name, and there will be a tilde sign in front of the destructor function, and this actually distinguish whether it is a destructor or constructor. The destructor always have a tilde sign, tilde symbol in front of the name of the class, means name of the function, destructor function. So here the concept of destructor is simple. In the book it is written that destructor, as the name implies, it is used to destroy the objects that has been created by the constructor. Like a constructor, destructor is a member function whose name is same as the class name, but it is preceded by a tilde sign. There will be a tilde sign before the function name. For example, the destructor for a class integer can be defined as shown below. So what we just talked about this, and destructor never takes argument and never returns anything, and it will be called implicitly called by the compiler upon exit from the program or by other functions when the objects are not no longer in use. So it is a good practice to use destructor in program to free up the memory space, to release the memory space for future use. So we'll do a program on destructor, and in future we'll see how the destructor program with destructor works. So I have kept everything, every program for letter purpose, and this will be done once I complete the concepts, and after that we'll go to the program section, and every concept will be covered with the programming at that time. And see, in the book it is there. You can see this is a program, example program, where there is a this is the constructor. So when objects are created, this or constructor, we already discussed that this is a default constructor where there is no argument, and at the time of creating the objects, see, in the main we are creating objects. This is the actual object, uh, this one, a1, a2, a3, these are the objects being created of alpha class. So when this will be created one after another, this constructor default constructor will be called, and uh, so they have given some instruction which will count the number of objects being created. So when there will be no use of those objects, and at that time the compiler will implicitly call the destructor, and the objects will be counted, and the number will be decremented by 1 when that destructor will be called. So see, no explicit call is there for destructor, and everything is like implicit. Here the constructor also, because they are using a default constructor with no argument. Here also no call to the constructor, because constructor and destructor will be automatically called by the compiler itself while creating the object or while destroying the object. So we will see the program later on, about the constructor and destructor. So this chapter 6 from the book Object Oriented Programming with Ibala Goswami, chapter 6 is completed. So this video is a short video because I'm just covering the destructor part. So you go through, and for exam it is important. Sometime in exam it comes, what is that? What is destructor? The features of destructor. or characteristic of destructor. So from this part you will get the characteristic of destructor. The destructor is the same name as a um, class name of the destructor, and it is having a till sign, and it will take no argument and it returns no value. So, and it is implicitly called by the constructor, so compiler. So this is about the destructor. So if you have any query regarding this destructor and constructor, or maybe in other concepts which I already discussed, so you can write in the comment section, and you can subscribe the channel Learn Digital for your further lecture. And if you want notification, then you can hit the bell icon to get new notification of new videos. So thank you.